on schedule, helps us make plans, and provides us with deadlines and routines, all moving forward effortlessly, as it has for thousands of years. While time can be one of our greatest motivators, it can also be one of our biggest sources of stress. Sometimes time can feel so overwhelming that we end up accomplishing nothing at all. I know this can be true for me, so I take steps to plan my time effectively. There are many different ways to do this, since there are many different ways our brains work. Before one can even start to create time management methods, we must first clear enough of our time to get prepared and ready for this big step into a new chapter. While this seems like a daunting task, it's the best way to practice to get ready, like I said, for an organized life, no matter how much you might want to do the opposite. There are many different ways to prepare yourself, whether it be through a book, social media, or even a podcast. You'll always find a way to make your life better and take something to take with you. Now that you've done this, let's move on to the time management methods. The first method I have for you is called the 4Ds method. This method can work for many different people since it doesn't take a lot of time and it's pretty versatile. This method can be either done ahead of plan or right before you start working. As there are 4Ds, there are 4 steps. These steps are do, defer, delegate, and delete. The first step, do, is for tasks that need to be done right away. It's for time-sensitive and important tasks like feeding your dog or taking your parents to their appointments. This step doesn't require planning, which is why it's first. While there's always the option to stop here, depending on how much of your time you want to organize, you can also continue on. If you choose to continue on, the next step is defer. We do this step specifically when we have an important and time-sensitive topic. As most people know, the definition of defer is to postpone something. Tasks like this can be sweeping or learning a new song on the piano. Like the last one, this doesn't require any planning, and while it's more of an organizational method than one to get things done, I think it's good to have as part of your process. The third step is delegate. In case we don't all know what delegate means, or we don't know if we're using it as a noun or a verb, to delegate means to entrust someone with a task or responsibility. In this case, we can trust our neighbor, our partner, or even our child with a time-sensitive but unimportant task, like taking out the trash, doing the litter box, or cleaning the dishes. Congrats, everyone. You've made it to the last step in this method. Does anyone want to guess what it is?
Delete.
Delete, good job, guys! The last step in this method is delete. Well, this is probably the most straightforward and doesn't require explaining. I need to be talking for 10 to 15 minutes, so I'm going to do so anyway. To delete means to get rid of. This is for steps that are neither time-sensitive nor important, and you don't really have to do it all. A step like this could be organizing your bookshelf or getting rid of your old clothes. This is probably the scariest step to me because I don't really know if something is able to be deleted. What if I delete something important? The best way to ensure you don't delete something important is to do it right away. While this doesn't always stop something important from getting deleted, it greatly lowers the chances. Plus, if something is forgettable enough to get that far down the list, how important is it? Congratulations! You've heard me talking for long enough to hopefully remember at least one method of organization. Luckily for you, I still have 2 left. The next method I have for you is called time blocking. Like most others, this name is not very clever. Time blocking is when you section up your time for tasks. Time blocking is helpful for a number of reasons. One of which is, like I said, since it creates a certain amount of time for you to do each task, it greatly lowers multitasking, which in turn, it can also be good for a schedule and increases the chances of focus. Time blocking is great to plan out your day. Maybe you have a vacation or a busy work schedule ahead of you. Since I'm 16 and still in school, I'm neither of those things, sadly. Because of that, I use this plan more practically, and I don't have to plan as much. I usually start in the morning, on the bus, or after school. I figure out how much time I'm planning. I usually do a day since that's easiest for me to remember, but depending on who you are, you can plan out your week, your month, or if you're crazy, a year. This method has no limit. After you figure out how much time you're planning out, you figure out what you need to do. I could need to write an essay for an after-school activity, or maybe I promised my brother, hi Lucas, that I would play tennis with him. After you figure out what you're doing, you figure out how much time it will take for you to do that thing. Well, weirdly enough, I have no sense of time, which is crazy because I'm the one up here talking to you guys. Because of this, instead of figuring out how much time it will take for me to do something, I figure out how much time I'm going to give myself before I move on. Sometimes this works great, and I move on as I planned. Other times, I'm so focused on the essay or having so much fun with my brother that I either end up rearranging my day or more likely skipping this method altogether. Well, I don't recommend doing this method if you feel like you're prone to do something like that. If you're a more disciplined person, this method would be great for you. Unlike the others, this method is less flexible, and if you miss a cutoff point, it's really hard to bounce back. Time blocking, like I said earlier, can be easily put into a schedule or routine, which is great for visual learners like myself. Congrats on making it this far. We only have one method left. The last method I have for you is called a Kanban board. Like the last one, this is very visual and is great for maximizing your efficiency. This method is great for people who do well with to-do lists because it has multiple. Before you call me crazy, this method has 3 general to-do style list boxes and is best when written out, which makes it visual. The boxes are formally known as Kanban boards. So if you're a fan of fancy names, it's right there, guys. The official board, the first board, is called the official to-do, and it's for tasks that you haven't started yet. This board can have the most amount of tasks on it, depending on how much of a procrastinator you are. The next board is for when you start tasks, and it's called the in-progress board. I usually have 2 to 6 things on this board, depending on how busy school is and how many after-school activities I'm taking part in. The last board is called the done board. This is my favorite for a number of reasons, which we can probably guess. But if you can't, it's mostly because I like to see everything that I've accomplished and to delete it all when I'm done. This method is great for people who have a lot on their plates, but unlike the others, it can be good for more than just time management. Maybe you want to read a bunch of books this year or learn new recipes. This method can be made to fit you, which makes it the best in my opinion. In the end, we all have to realize we're different people, and even though we have the same amount of time in the day, we see it differently. That means different methods will work for different people. I could be standing up here talking to you all, and you could have hated everything I've just said. Well, I hope that's not the case. If it is, I hope you find a way to organize your time, just as we're all trying to do. Thank you, everyone, and good night.